Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. We got a little football news here. Found some stories that I thought were pretty interesting, so let's get to them. Should Ray Rice be allowed back into the NFL? Well, according to a domestic rights group, he should. He's been working with a domestic rights group ever since his notorious, infamous video of him punching his then fiance and knocking her out cold, picking her body up, dragging it out of the elevator like it was like a sack of trash or something. But because of that incident, he was canned from the Baltimore Ravens, became just one of the most hated guys on the planet, was the absolute poster boy for domestic violence and everything wrong with athletes in sports, athletes that feel, I guess, they can do anything that they want to do and get away with it. But according to the NFL, who, because of the video, was forced to crack down on domestic violence, canned Ray from the NFL, and it's been that way ever since. Well, the group says he should be allowed back in because after public speaking, community service, working with kids, just kind of rebuilding his image, realizing that what he did was wrong. And what I thought was a good reason, if no other reason, he does not want his daughter to grow up and looking at her dad as that person, as opposed to, I guess, the person that he is now. You know, another good reason, I guess, would be that, God forbid, your daughter grow up and meet somebody like you. The group says he's atoned, I guess, for his sins and should be given a chance to get back into football and professional football. And I say yes. I guess you got to figure the incident was between him and his now wife. If his wife has forgiven him, if the families have forgiven him, if it's okay with them and they have kind of put this incident behind them, then I would say he's in a position now that he can't make a mistake like that again. He makes a mistake like that again, man, that's nobody will ever want anything to do with him. So it was a hard lesson. It was a tough lesson. It was an embarrassing lesson. But if lesson learned, yeah, give him a shot again at the NFL. Not going to happen, though, I don't think, because given the situation with Greg Hardy and the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Hardy, I guess during his stint in Carolina, he was not too happy that Nelly was tip drilling his ex, So beat this girl something fierce, threatened to shoot her. That was one of the reasons, if not the reason, that I guess he left the Panthers and was picked up by the Cowboys. Well, when you talk about punishment, after beating this woman up, he still collected just $13 million, I guess, from the Panthers, and was picked up by the Cowboys. And Mr. Jones, Jerry Jones, has come out in support of Mr. Hardy. So you have a situation here where we're right back where we started in the case of Ray Rice in Greg Hardy. You keep Greg Hardy, but you don't allow Ray Rice back into the NFL. Basically, what means two things. Your stance on domestic violence means absolutely nothing, and the NFL basically doesn't give a shit about women. So what you're basically saying is, well, look, beat the bitch up, so what? I got a Super Bowl I got to win, and I could care less about what you do. As long as you don't kill her, I don't care what you do. It remains to be seen how this situation is going to play out with the Dallas Cowboys, because Mr. Jones is under some pressure to get rid of this guy. And according to him, the Cowboys did not see the photographs, and he was signed well before the photographs surfaced. Also, his ex either dropped the charges or could not be found to testify against him. So not only was the case closed, but the incident was expunged from his record. So it's like it never happened. So I guess what Mr. Jones is saying, well, technically, it never happened. So, what's the big deal? We can start from here and we can move on. suspended games and bench time and all this kind of stuff, but you're still making millions and millions of dollars. There's no punishment. It remains to be seen what's going to happen in this case and how it affects Ray Rice's case. Now, I will say that from a legal perspective, it sounds like Ray Rice may have cause to sue the NFL, because if you will not allow him to come back in and play, or at least try out for a team and with the possibility of getting picked up, you don't allow him to do that, but you allow this guy to not only remain on the Dallas Cowboys, but to get paid the money that he's paid. Ray Rice could make a case for that, in my opinion. And if that is the case, I would certainly take the NFL to task for that. Either you're going to not allow me to play professional football or play for the NFL, and you're going to really take a serious stance on domestic violence, and that means the Dallas Cowboys have to can Mr. Hardy as well. You have to do the same thing to him that you did to me. Otherwise, what are we talking about here? I guess we will see whether or not Mr. Jones folds and gets rid of Greg Hardy, and if Ray Rice is in fact allowed to return to professional football and possibly get picked up. So, again, these brainless wonders that you guys look up to that have no education, they have no real societal functions other than hitting and tackling and beating up women, apparently. But hey, stranger things have happened, I guess. So, and speaking of strange, pathetic. Yeah, pathetic is a better word. I mean, just pathetic. Now, when I did the Tristan Thompson blows the $80 million deal, and people took exception to the fact that I should not have commented on Tristan Thompson's finances, and I had no right to talk about Tristan Thompson. But I got to tell you something. When you devalue an education, especially when you are a black man and your athletic endeavors do not pan out the way you think and thought that they were going to pan out, you are resorted to pathetic acts like this. And I mean, when I saw this, I was like, this is just this proves my point 100%. Joe Anderson, former NFL player, was spotted, and I think currently is spotted, and for some time now has been standing outside of the Houston Texans arena with a sign looking like a homeless man, claiming that he would like a shot at trying to make the team. The sign, not homeless but starving for success, will run routes for food, whatever it takes. Underdog, believe, hungry. And then went on to release a very lengthy, I don't know, it's either caption or explanation. I'll read a little bit of it. Nothing will stop me, Lord. It's all in your hands. All I know is that I believe it by faith and see it all happening, even when it looks like a joke before the eyes of man. I fill myself with humility and say, let your will be done, and use me to allow others to believe in your power. I'm not looking at my situation with a worldly mindset, and that's what's going to separate me. My hunger can't be matched. My heart can't be compared to. I'm outside the Houston Texans facility every morning because I know what type of gift God has blessed me with. First of all, God does not draft NFL players. God does not, if God's up there reading a newspaper or something, God doesn't look down at you and say, okay, well, I like the sign. I guess I'll give you a chance. God's not going to go tell the owner of the Houston Texans, give him a job. Will you please stop blaspheming the name of God? Especially black people just blaspheme the name of God in everything. It's like these award shows. Well, you'll get somebody up there and they'll say, well, first and foremost, I'd like to thank God, the creator, because without God, all things would not be possible. Without God, all things would not be possible. And with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for this award for my song, I'll Smack a Bitch If She Don't Suck My Dick. Some crap like that, So, please quit quote God and put God in this nonsense. God doesn't have anything to do with football. What it all has to do, And this is an ironclad case of what I'm talking about, is the fact that when you don't get an education and this type of deal doesn't work out in professional sports, you are left with nothing. You are left looking like a pathetic homeless man hanging outside with you probably make more money if you said, we'll clean windows for food. We'll clean windows for $1 or something like that. But you stand outside and you absolutely embarrass yourself. If you were a caliber player, you would not have to be reduced to doing this. There would be a team that wants you. But apparently there isn't a team that wants you. You had your shot. You blew your chance at a college education. This is an athlete that hopped straight from high school. You were in college. You were in the vicinity. You were on the football field. But other than that, you didn't hit a class, not day one. And you shot straight to the NFL. Didn't work out, my man. And now you're reduced to dry begging for somebody to give you an opportunity. For all you young athletes out there, look at these guys as an example. You may go on to do great things with your athletic careers. You may be going to, get to the highest of highs and make $1 gazillion and all that. But the hardcore fact, the hard, cold fact is that you're talking about the top 1%. The other 99%, if they don't have an education and they don't have something to fall back on, that's your future. So if nothing else, hey, man, I hope the guy at least spelled all the words right on his sign. This is KTM and the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.